If you carry a firearm in America today, there's one moment more dangerous than any threat you'll ever face on the street. It's not the intruder breaking into your home. It's not the stranger acting suspicious in a parking lot. It's not even the split-second decision of whether to draw your weapon. The moment that has destroyed more law-abiding gun owners' lives than anything else is the moment a police officer looks at you and asks, "Do you have a firearm on you today?" Most people don't realize that this one question is a legal landmine because how you answer it decides whether the conversation stays routine or instantly becomes an interrogation. Every year, thousands of gun owners find themselves in handcuffs not because they committed a violent act, not because they threatened anyone, and not because they violated any gun statutes, but simply because they didn't know their rights and didn't know the correct words to use when questioned by police. They tried to explain, they tried to sound cooperative, or they panicked and said too much. And just like that, what should have been a normal conversation turned into criminal charges, legal fees, suspended permits, or the permanent loss of firearm rights. This is why what you say matters. Officers are trained to analyze your answers. Prosecutors study your exact wording. Judges and juries later look at your statements through the lens of whether they suggest guilt, carelessness, or intent. Even an innocent comment meant to reassure the officer can be twisted into evidence that you acted recklessly, aggressively, or without fear for your life. Most gun owners have never been told this. No one trains them for what to say to police after a defensive incident or during a routine stop. And no one explains that the entire legal process hinges on the very first words that come out of their mouth. Consider a man from North Carolina who was pulled over for rolling through a stop sign. He was fully licensed, fully compliant, and carrying legally. When the officer asked if he had any weapons in the vehicle, the man answered casually, "Yeah, it's loaded, but I'm not dangerous." That one sentence triggered a complete shift in the officer's behavior. Backup was called. He was ordered out of the vehicle. His gun was taken, his car was searched, and later, at his administrative hearing, that same sentence was used to argue that he demonstrated unsafe judgment and poor handling practices. His permit was suspended for 6 months, not because he mishandled the firearm, but because of the words he used. This is not rare. These situations happen constantly. A gun owner tries to explain himself and instead creates the very suspicion he was trying to avoid. In another case out of Michigan, a man involved in a defensive encounter told police, "I wasn't trying to hurt him. I just wanted to scare him." That sentence meant to sound responsible, destroyed his legal defense. Prosecutors argued that if he was only trying to scare the attacker, then he must not have truly believed he was in immediate danger. His self-defense justification collapsed. He faced aggravated assault charges and spent 9 months fighting a case that could have been avoided entirely. All of this leads to one truth. Talking too much is the #1 legal mistake gun owners make. When adrenaline is high and you're scared or stressed, your words will not come out perfectly. You won't remember every detail and you won't tell the story in the exact sequence your brain experienced it. Police officers know this. Prosecutors know it even better. They know how to isolate a single sentence, take it out of context, and use it to undermine your entire defense. But the danger doesn't stop with talking. The second major trap is consenting to searches. Gun owners often assume that if they say yes, go ahead and search, they are proving they're innocent. In reality, they are waiving one of their strongest constitutional protections. Officers who receive consent no longer need probable cause. They can open compartments, bags, and containers. They can go through every inch of your car. If they find anything unrelated, like a forgotten shell casing, a loose round under your seat, or even a damaged holster, they can use it as evidence. Even if charges don't stick, the arrest record, court process, and legal fees follow you forever. The third trap is physical behavior. Simply adjusting your firearm because it's uncomfortable, lifting your shirt slightly while reaching for your wallet, or placing your hand near your holster can be interpreted as a threatening gesture. In Arizona, a man with a concealed carry permit was charged with aggravated assault because a witness only saw him touching his waistband. During a heated argument, no gun was drawn, no threat was made, but the presence of the weapon changed everything. Without context, without careful words, The gun owner becomes the perceived aggressor. And then there's the issue that surprises most people. Self-defense laws vary massively from one state to another. What's justified in Texas can be criminal in Maryland. What's lawful in Florida can be prosecuted in Illinois. Whether you are required to retreat, whether your vehicle counts as a dwelling, whether displaying a firearm is considered defensive or threatening, all of this changes the second you cross state lines. There are gun owners sitting in jail right now because they acted based on the laws they knew from home while traveling in a state with completely different standards. So, how do you protect yourself? How do you make sure a simple conversation with a police officer doesn't escalate into a life-changing legal disaster? You do it by using the 7 words that criminal defense attorneys teach their clients. These words are safe. They are constitutional. They cannot be twisted or misinterpreted. They do not sound aggressive, confrontational, or suspicious. They simply stop the legal bleeding before it begins. When an officer asks about your weapon, your training, your decisions, or your intentions, the safest possible response is, "I'm invoking my right to counsel." Those 7 words shut down questioning instantly. They prevent you from rambling, apologizing, over-explaining, or trying to sound innocent. They force the officer to respect the Constitution and stop asking questions designed to gather evidence against you. After saying those 7 words, you add one more simple line. I choose to remain silent. That's it. No speeches, no explanations, no comment, just calm, respectful silence. This is not hostility. This is not disrespect. This is not a refusal to cooperate. This is the law. Police officers are trained to respect it. Prosecutors cannot use it against you. And most importantly, it prevents you from becoming your own worst witness. Your freedom, your future, and your firearm rights depend on understanding this. Police encounters are not about your intentions. They are about your words. And those words decide whether you walk away or end up fighting for your life inside a courtroom. Gun ownership comes with responsibility, but it also comes with rights. The moment you understand how to use both is the moment you truly become a prepared, protected, and informed gun owner. Stay safe, stay smart, and never forget those